In American politics, even a single offhand remark can spark national debate. The world of political communication is fast-paced, and sometimes, it only takes a few words to set off a chain reaction that captures the nation's attention. In an era where every statement is scrutinized and amplified by social media, the stakes for public figures are higher than ever. That's exactly what happened when a text between White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt and journalist S.V. Date went viral in October 2025. What started as a routine exchange between a government official and a member of the press quickly became headline news, illustrating just how unpredictable the news cycle can be. The catalyst? Leavitt's blunt "your mom" reply to a serious question about a Trump-Putin meeting. The phrase, often used as a lighthearted joke in everyday conversation, took on a new life when delivered in the context of a high-level political discussion. It was a moment that blurred the lines between humor and official communication. What seemed like a trivial joke quickly ignited discussions about professionalism and the tone of political discourse. Newsrooms across the country debated whether such a response was appropriate, and politicians weighed in on the implications for public trust in government communications. The exchange, brief but biting, spread rapidly across social media and news outlets. Within hours, the phrase "your mom did" was trending, with thousands of users sharing their opinions, memes, and hot takes. The story dominated headlines, showing how quickly a single message can become a cultural phenomenon. Critics questioned Leavitt's decorum, while others saw it as a sign of changing communication norms. Some argued that the reply reflected a lack of seriousness in government, while others felt it was a refreshing break from the usual, scripted responses. The debate highlighted generational divides and shifting expectations for public officials. This viral moment highlights how even casual words can shape public perception and political narratives. In today's hyper-connected world, the line between private banter and public statement is thinner than ever, and every word has the potential to influence the national conversation. It forces us to reconsider the boundaries of humor and respect in high-stakes political conversations. As we explore the fallout from this viral message, we'll examine what it reveals about the evolving nature of political communication, the power of social media, and the expectations we place on those who speak for our leaders. Karoline Leavitt, just 28, serves as White House press secretary under President Trump. Known for her direct, sometimes confrontational style, she's a departure from traditional press secretaries. Leavitt's digital-savvy approach resonates with younger audiences, but divides opinion. Some praise her candor, others criticize her lack of decorum. Her rapid rise in politics reflects a generational shift in how leaders communicate. By leveraging social media, she engages the public directly, often bypassing traditional media filters. Leavitt's tenure exemplifies the evolving boundaries of political discourse in the digital age. The exchange began when Date asked about Trump's understanding of the Budapest Memorandum ahead of his meeting with Putin. Leavitt's "your mom" reply instantly set off a firestorm. Date pressed her on the seriousness of the issue, but Leavitt doubled down, questioning his journalistic integrity. She then posted the private exchange online, labeling Date an activist, not a reporter. This move blurred the line between official communication and personal expression, fueling public scrutiny. The incident became a case study in how quickly private conversations can become national controversies. It underscores the risks and reach of political communication in the social media era. The Budapest Memorandum, signed in 1994, offered Ukraine security assurances in exchange for giving up nuclear weapons. Russia's later actions in Ukraine are widely seen as violations of this agreement, making it a flashpoint in global politics. Date's question to Leavitt was rooted in these high-stakes geopolitical realities. Her dismissive response was seen as minimizing a serious issue with far-reaching consequences. The memorandum remains central to debates about sovereignty and international law. Understanding its significance explains why the exchange drew such intense scrutiny. It's a reminder that historical context matters in political dialogue. Public and media reactions to Leavitt's "your mom" comment were swift and polarized. Many criticized it as unprofessional and beneath the office, while some supporters saw it as refreshingly candid. Social media buzzed with memes and debates, amplifying the controversy. Critics argued the comment reflected poorly on the administration's standards. Supporters claimed it made politics more relatable, sparking a broader debate about humor and informality in public life. The incident highlighted the delicate balance between authenticity and professionalism in political communication. The "your mom" joke didn't stop with Leavitt, it echoed through the Trump administration, reverberating in unexpected ways across the highest levels of government. What began as a seemingly offhand remark quickly became a talking point, referenced and repeated by officials, in both formal and informal settings. The joke, lighthearted on the surface, soon took on a life of its own, symbolizing a shift in tone and approach within the administration. Communications Director Stephen Chuong repeated the line, signaling a coordinated embrace of informality. By echoing the joke, Chuong and others in the administration sent a clear message. They were willing to break with traditional decorum and adopt a more relaxed, conversational style. This was not just a one-off moment but part of a broader strategy to connect with the public in a way that felt more relatable and less scripted. This approach resonated with some, who valued authenticity and saw the humor as a refreshing change from the usual political rhetoric. Supporters argued that this new tone made officials seem more approachable and in touch with everyday Americans. However, it also drew sharp criticism from others, who felt that such informality undermined the seriousness and dignity of official roles, blurring the line between entertainment and governance. The administration's casual tone reflected broader shifts in how leaders engage with the public and press. In an era dominated by social media and rapid-fire news cycles, the boundaries between public and private personas have become increasingly blurred. Leaders are now expected to be both authoritative and relatable, often navigating a delicate balance between tradition and innovation in their communication styles. Critics warned it eroded respect for public office, arguing that the use of jokes and casual language diminished the gravity of important issues. They feared that this trend could set a precedent, making it harder to maintain the standards and expectations that have long defined political discourse. Meanwhile, supporters saw it as breaking down barriers, making government more accessible and less intimidating to ordinary citizens. The trend raises important questions about the future of political communication and the standards we expect from our leaders. As the lines between humor and policy, entertainment and governance continue to blur, society must grapple with what it truly values in its public officials: tradition and formality, or relatability and openness. The joke became both a symbol and a catalyst for ongoing debates about political discourse, challenging us to reconsider how we define leadership, respect, and the role of humor in the halls of power. SV Date responded publicly, emphasizing journalistic integrity and the seriousness of his original question. He reiterated the importance of the Budapest Memorandum and defended his professional approach. Date's measured response shifted focus back to the substance of the issue. Fellow journalists and media organizations rallied behind him, highlighting the role of a free press. The incident became a rallying point for discussions about respect between the press and political figures. Date's public engagement showed how journalists can shape narratives in the digital age. The episode underscored the complex interplay between media, politics, and public perception. Leavitt's style as press secretary stands in stark contrast to her predecessor, Karine Jean-Pierre. Jean-Pierre favored diplomacy and decorum, while Leavitt embraces directness and humor. This shift reflects changing expectations for political communication, especially among younger audiences. The contrast highlights a broader debate: should press secretaries prioritize professionalism or relatability? Leavitt's approach challenges traditional norms, pushing the boundaries of official discourse. The comparison reveals how generational and cultural shifts are reshaping the role of public communicators. The "your mom" moment is a microcosm of the challenges facing political communication today. In an era where every word and gesture can be instantly broadcast, dissected and memed, the stakes for public figures have never been higher. What once might have been a fleeting quip now has the power to shape headlines, influence public perception, and even alter the course of political careers. It spotlights the tension between professionalism and informality in a digital-first world. Politicians and journalists alike are navigating a landscape where authenticity is prized, but missteps can go viral in seconds. The line between relatable and reckless is thinner than ever, and the pressure to engage audiences online often clashes with the need to uphold traditional standards of decorum. Leaders and journalists must balance authenticity with respect, especially on global issues. The world is watching, and every interaction is scrutinized, not just for content, but for tone and intent. A single offhand remark can spark international debate or foster misunderstanding, making the art of communication more complex and consequential than ever before. The incident raises questions about the role of humor and the impact of words in shaping public opinion. Humor can be a powerful tool to connect with audiences, break tension, or humanize leaders, but it can also backfire, appearing dismissive or unprofessional. The way jokes are received often depends on context, timing, and the ever-watchful eyes of the public and media. As communication norms evolve, both sides must adapt thoughtfully to maintain trust and integrity. Politicians need to be mindful of how their words resonate across different communities, while journalists must balance reporting with responsibility, ensuring that coverage does not amplify division or trivialize important issues. The relationship between the press and public officials is more dynamic and more delicate than ever. Ultimately, this viral exchange is more than a joke. It's a reflection of shifting standards in political dialogue. It highlights how quickly narratives can change, and how the boundaries of acceptable discourse are constantly being renegotiated in real time, influenced by technology, culture, and public sentiment. It challenges us to rethink how we expect leaders and the press to engage in an interconnected world. As we move forward, the ability to communicate with both candor and care will be essential, not just for those in power, but for anyone participating in the public conversation.